Hey, what's up, fam? Thank y'all for tuning in once again, as always. Be sure to like, share, comment, and subscribe. And when you do subscribe, hit the notification bells. Every time I drop a video, you will be the first to know about it. So I did a video a few weeks ago about how New York somehow is putting aside, I think, like $2 billion, I believe, or trying to put $2 billion aside for these illegal asylum seekers that are coming into their city. And I know the citizens are in the uproar, and they should be. Well, guess what? Your mayor, your governor is looking for some more money for these asylum seekers. So let's get into it. Now, what's funny about this story, it came across one of the news feed apps that I got on my phone. And when I came to my computer, Google searched it, the title. I only saw two sources who had this information, which is amazing because I don't see any major news outlets having this on their websites just yet. And this is on Yahoo. Maybe I should have Googled it and saw what I got, but nah, we'll just stick to Yahoo. But anyway, one was called the centersquare.com and the other one was Foreign Desk News. You mean to tell me that a site based off the shores of America is dropping this story? Anyway, let's go to the foreigndesknews.com. And the article reads, New York lawmakers waive $500 million fund for unemployed migrants. This story is by Christian Wade, and let's get into it. New York lawmakers are considering a Democratic proposal that would create a new multi-billion-dollar fund to provide unemployment benefits for undocumented immigrants. The proposal, which is currently before the Senate Finance Committee, will create a $500 million trust fund to pay jobless benefits for workers ineligible for traditional unemployment payments and other public benefits. To pay for it, hold on, let's rewind. Now, here's my thing. I think there's a story came out a few days ago about how there's like 800,000 migrants who could possibly become citizens in Texas before the next election, right? When you read the article, it's legit. The migrants, the story is legit. They came over here. They've been here. Long story short, they've been here for years. They've worked. They pay the tax. They are productive members of society. Done no wrong. I guess passed the test. Do what they got to do. And so, by the time, like I said, the next election come in, they can become U.S. citizens. Congratulations to them for doing it the right way. So when you talk about migrants like them, you hate to call those people illegal because they're technically not illegal because they're actually doing things the right way. The illegal ones are the ones who come across, now you're supposed to be asylum seeking, but for some reason you not going through the checkpoints. You're jumping over razor wire, crossing the river. Not like the rest of the folks did. But anyways, so for people like those that are working and lose their job for some reason, yes, I can understand giving them unemployment benefits because they're trying to do it the right way. And just like us not naturalized, but us natural born citizens, they might have had a hard break and need a little help until they can get back on their feet. I get it. But when you're talking about those who come across the river, jump across razor wire, no, they don't need nothing. They need to just be, like I say, rounded up and sent back and told, hey, do it the right way. It's kind of like, but think of the story down here in Texas where the boy couldn't go to school or graduate from his high school because his hair violated the dress code in that school. And everyone was in an uproar because they said it violated the Crown Act. But the judge said the reason why he sided with the school is because the Crown Act didn't say anything about the length of the hair. And so his hair length violated the school's dress code, so they was in the right, whether you think it's racist or not. And everybody was still in the uproar. But I'm like, well, damn it. just go back and add that little detail to the Crown Act, repass it, and everything is all good. Well, this is the same type of situation scenario when you're talking about the migrants, people that come over here and, who claim that they are, trying to, seek asylum. You follow the rules up to a point, but you want to cross the border. It's like, look, just go on back over there, round them up, send them back over there and just say, hey, all you got to do is come through the checkpoints. We'll do a little background check. We'll ask you a few questions, do a little, check you out. And if it works out, come on in and, the government will do what they can to try to see if they can make you citizens. Simple as that. Just small little detail. Stop jumping across the river and over some razor wire illegally. That's all. Anyway, let's get back to the story. Because like I said before, I can ramble for days. Now, to pay for it, backers of the plan have proposed a new tax on Google, Amazon, and other big tech companies that would charge them a fee for digital advertising, which supporters say would drum up hundreds of millions of dollars for the fund. Now, how do they come up with this when it comes to migrants? But for U.S. citizens, y'all can't think this hard. You just ain't that smart. But when it comes to migrants, but I'm gonna keep reading because check this out. The so-called Unemployment Bridge program proposal is being championed by State Senator Jessica Ramos, a Queens Democrat who chairs the Senate's powerful labor committee. She argues that migrants are authorized to work, pay taxes, and contribute to the state's economy, but can't get unemployment benefits if they are let go by their employer. Like I say, I'm cool with it if they, coming over here working, paying taxes, trying to become U.S. citizens, not causing no problems, and they can be tracked and their whereabouts and their actions can be tracked to where, like in a few years, they can become U.S. citizens. If not, then, do what I'm saying? Get it how you live, I guess. But here's one thing in this paragraph that I want y'all to pay attention to. It's being proposed by State Senator Jessica Ramos. So by the last name, you can tell she's of Latino and or Hispanic origin. You notice how people of whatever origin, ethnic group, they fight for their people, right or wrong. But yet we don't see what they call it, the Congressional Black Caucus. I don't see y'all doing that for us. Unless little kid trying to getting kicked out of school because his hair is too long. And you're only doing that for a vote. This one might be doing it for a vote too. And she's a Democrat. But what she's doing is she's trying to get actual tangibles for her people. Whether it passes or not, it's a chance it could pass, it's a chance it don't pass. But either way, it's something there's a possibility that it could happen. So it's not no wolf tickets or no intangible benefits for her people. Congressional Black Caucus, they fight for holidays. They fight for laws to wear long hair in school. They don't fight for, anti-black hate crime bills. They don't fight for the revamping of the police. They fight for defunding the police. And you see what's going on in those cities that are defunding the police. They don't fight for real tangible stuff. They don't fight for reparations for us. They don't fight for things that we could benefit from and actually give ourselves a boost. They don't fight for, kind of like tax deductions for descendants of slaves, things like that. They don't fight for stuff like that, regardless you think it's silly or not, because looking at this, I would think this is silly. Like, who in the heck will fight for illegal immigrants to get $500 million? And I keep saying illegal immigrants because we're going to get once we get to the end of the story, you're going to see where I get that from. But illegal, not, She's fighting for immigrants, and you might think, oh, that's it. They ain't gonna give $500 million for them people. They ain't got $500 million for us. She don't care. She gonna fight for her people. So the question is, why are our people in Congress not doing the same for us? That's just from a black point of view. That's all. Oh, okay. So the federal government has let unemployment insurance for freelancers expire. The Excluded Workers Fund has long since run out. Ramos posted on social media. We need a safety net that reflects the reality of our labor market. Now understand this too. Although she is talking about those that pay taxes and seem to be doing things right, she knows that the illegal, the quote unquote asylum seekers who had the millions that have came over in the last couple of years, she know they're gonna get part of that too. She ain't silly. So don't just think that, you know what I'm saying? Don't just think that she's only trying to be on the up and up. There are other things, beyond it. It said a summary of the bill said the fund would be available to undocumented workers, but also domestic workers, landscaping and groundskeeping workers, day laborers, and domestic construction workers who are paid off the hooks. Street vendors, freelancers, self-employed workers, and workers recently released from incarceration or immigrant detention who cannot use their prison or detention labor to qualify for unemployment benefits. So is this like what we would say in the community, Black American thing or like a minority thing? You know what I'm saying? Like, does it encompass all immigrants or just the illegal immigrants or just the Latino immigrants or does it encompass everybody, even citizens who are street vendors, freelancers, self-employed workers, and workers who are recently released from incarceration, like black people, white people, citizens of this country? That's something to look into. The new fund establishes in-depth requirements and procedures, making it possible for members of these communities to apply and receive benefits for their ongoing unemployment, the summary read. New York policymakers have wrangled for years over jobless benefits for undocumented immigrants, non-traditional workers, and others who don't qualify for state unemployment benefits. During the COVID-19 pandemic, New York lawmakers approved a $2.1 billion Excluded Workers Fund to provide support for jobless workers who were excluded from unemployment benefits, including undocumented adults and those with gig economy jobs. Again, is that for citizens too? I wish they kind of specify that instead of using the word others or including. But money from that fund has dried up, lawmakers say. Dang, that's been like 3 years. Governor Kathy Hochul's $233 billion fiscal year 2025 budget calls for committing $2.4 billion to help. See, here it is right here. To help tens of thousands of asylum seekers, including $500 million from the state's reserve or rainy day fund. What's funny is the Democrats are trying to get all these immigrants citizenships, thinking that they're going to vote Democrat. Your problem is you may get the new people, the new quote unquote asylum seekers to vote for you if you can make them, eligible to vote. But the ones that's been here 10 years, 8 years, who still are waiting to become citizens, you're not going to get their vote because they're going to be pissed off as hell because they like, we did all this, all these years, and now y'all just going to let these people come in and skip the line? We didn't allow that back in high school or in elementary. What are you talking about? Yeah, so I think this is going to backfire on them Democrats more than they think. Roughly $1.1 billion will be earmarked for New York City to house migrants and provide legal assistance to apply for asylum and secure employment. But the Democrat spending plan doesn't include funding for unemployment benefits for migrants or the creation of a new fund to help jobless workers who don't qualify for traditional benefits. Republicans has criticized plans to offer unemployment benefits to people living in the U.S. illegally and argue that the funds should only be available to New York taxpayers. Quote, people who live in New York City who are legal American citizens and legal residents of New York who pay some of the most exorbitant taxes in the country, maybe even in the world. If you live in the city of New York, they should be the priority, Senate Minority Leader Rob said in a recent statement. I agree. Take care of home first. Take care of citizens first. You get the money. You create money. If you're going to tax people, tax those who are going to benefit. Don't tax those who ain't going to benefit from anything. Not first. You take care of home first. It's the thing. If you show your people at home love first, those people may show other people love also. It's called paying it forward. But when you're skipping over citizens, that's where your problem is. And people are just not having it. So I think New York need to go back to the drawing board, because every day y'all wake up, y'all doing something more silly and ignorant and causing yourselves to probably lose more and more votes. And by the time November hit, the whole dang state gonna be turned red. So lawmakers, you can blame yourself. But anyway, tell me what y'all think about this. Let's dialogue. Leave your comments below. Let's dialogue. You know how we do it around here. Also, you want to support the channel, don't forget to super chat, super thanks, and go to the description box. There are links that you can go to also help promote the channel. With that being said, I leave you in peace, and I'll see you on the other side.